St. Andrews Soccer Association says players are being left on the sidelines after getting the boot from its fields. The pitches are located in the middle of St. Andrews Airport. The airport needs the space for an expansion and says it was never meant to be a permanent home for kids soccer. Standing by with the details tonight is CTV's Jeff Keele. Jeff, is there anywhere else for these teams to play soccer?
The association says no. This is putting soccer in jeopardy for 320 kids, and they're lobbying the RM of St. Andrews at a council meeting for help. But the mayor of St. Andrews says a deal is in place nearby for kids to continue playing. Youth soccer teams in St. Andrews are getting kicked off their pitches, and the association says they have no field to land on.
Just kind of mind-blowing.
Since 2009, the St. Andrews Soccer Association has been allowed to host games for kids at this location, in the middle of the local airport. But in March, the airport, which is owned by the RM, said it needs the space to expand and told the association 2026 would be the last season it could use the fields for soccer and their 320 players.
To receive the boot because of politics between the airport and the RM, just not right.
In a statement, the airport says it's the 9th busiest in Canada and needs the expansion for aviation purposes, adding the area is not zoned for recreation and soccer was always a temporary use. The decision was made to delay the development of that area for 2 years to allow ample time for soccer to find a new home. The Soccer Association is calling on St. Andrews Council to help them because it claims the RM failed to move ahead with plans to build public soccer fields.
We need a permanent solution, or at the bare minimum, an extension of our airport lease so that we have certainty going into next season that we're not going off a cliff and community soccer will be dying in St. Andrews.
But Mayor Joyce Sewell says there is a solution. A private business is spending more than $4 million on soccer fields nearby, and there is a deal in place for public access once they open.
Council ensured that there is in the lease agreement with them that 20% of the time be allowed for residents of St. Andrews. And we fully support the kids.
The association says that's not enough to meet their demands.
It's also a business. They run programming the same times as us over the same season. You physically cannot have 2 soccer games happening on the same pitches at the same time.
Mayor Joyce Sewell also says she doesn't believe the airport is a proper place for the soccer fields as they have had security issues recently.
So, Jeff, what permanent solution is the Soccer Association calling for?
Yeah, the Soccer Association says the RM could build public fields next to the private ones as there is room to do so. The mayor says that is something council could look at as that site was always meant for soccer and baseball.
All right, thanks for this, Jeff.